Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've got a quick summary of what's coming up this week, but also we have updates to Star Citizen now for 3.19.1, and that sort of new patch that's coming out real soon, and some dev responses on players being deflated about recent cargo and loot spawning changes. My hope is that Cloud Imperium will make the right choice and make the game more fun in the short to medium term, rather than worry about balancing it too much. But we'll get to that in a minute. So this week in Star Citizen, Jumptown 2.1 is running on the live servers until the 5th of June. Every 24 hours, that's going to switch location. That's that big, more PvP-focused event where you have some facilities that are producing a couple of sort of packages of narcotics every so often, and you can take those and make a lot of money, but it's when do you decide to bug out, how long do you fight in an area, what sort of response are you going to get from players. Sometimes lots of players are just queuing and sort of doing it in quite an orderly fashion and very civilly. Sometimes it is just a big war. We've just had a Galactopedia update that gives us more info on the Clog and Osiris star systems. Later on Wednesday, we've got a roadmap update. Assumedly, that will add the Fury to 3.19 as it's now flyable, but also give us some more updates on the plans for Alpha 3.20 coming, I believe, Q3, so end of September, maybe middle of sort of October time. Thursdays, Inside Star Citizen explores Arena Commander updates coming in Alpha 3.20 as well, so we know that there's going to be Arena Commander updates there. We can expect probably quite a big overhaul to Arena Commander because Cloud Imperium have been trying to get more and more sort of updates here, and they've been working on them for quite a while. On Friday, there's going to be a Star Citizen Live, but we've got no details on exactly what's going to be shown there yet. Might be related to the Inside Star Citizen. It's sort of the farewell to Fleet Week as well, so based on what time you watch this, there may be Fleet Weeky things going on still. So sales are on still until the 31st of May up until 8 PM UTC. So bear that in mind. There are lots of sort of special Warbond upgrades. I believe there's 10 on offer currently. The Hercules A2, the Blister, the Caterpillar, the Corsair, the Eclipse, Gladius, Hurricane, Mercury Starrunner, Nova, and Scorpius. Sort of lots of little offers there for those ships if you want to upgrade your current ship to one of those. And up until that time, 8 PM UTC, you will also be able to purchase any of the ships that were previously available during Fleet Week that weren't limited hulls, so no Idris or Javelins or Krakens, but everything else. There are also a couple of starter packs on offer until the 1st of June, the C8X Pisces and the Avenger Titan. Avenger Titan, one of my favourite ships, do heavily recommend it as a potential starting ship, but remember you can get everything in-game, you just need the cheapest starter package you can get, then bam, you could just get everything else in-game if you wanted to. Now, let's move on to the Alpha 3.19 front. So Cloud Imperium said the team is hard at work on the upcoming update. While there's still more work to be done to get the experience where we want it, we aim to provide additional fixes and adjustments to help improve the gameplay experience with this upcoming patch. A few examples include reduced ship claim timers, elevator responsiveness, and a variety of other back-end fixes. We've also made headway over the weekend on investigating an issue that was causing AI to spawn in mass quantities, which of course the servers didn't appreciate. We'll share more information once we have it. So if you've seen some of my videos on Fleet Week where I've been going around the expo hall, there have been hundreds and hundreds of NPCs spawning, and I was surprised that my computer didn't implode just with the amount of bodies on screen. But in that latest 3.19.1 PTU patch at the moment, there's been a sort of new one came out in the last few hours. They fixed Moby classes being inaccessible after buying a new one, and they also fixed a client and 2 server crashes, as well as making some back-end server stability improvements. But there's loads of other great improvements in that 3.19.1 patch when it comes to stability, performance, and playability. There are still, however, some major known issues, like EVAing around Security Post Korea. That can kill you instantly. Hoverquads spawn in the ground sometimes. Player corpses don't despawn at Grimhex, which can cause some issues. The new Deal and Vantage rental kiosks are missing. Area 18 seems particularly buggy. Why I say particularly? There are sometimes issues with the trams sort of disappearing, and players will just fall to their deaths. The trams can also be out of sync with station timers, and they can overlap or not appear on time. There can be invisible asteroids sometimes. One of the racing tracks, the Yedar Valley racetrack. Some players can see rock formations and other players can't. There's some problems with quantum linking and you're not being able to see your partied sort of ships with quantum linking properly. Some of the food items lack the store option when carrying the item using your inner port stuff. You can use tractor beams in armistice zones, which can cause a lot of problems. Now, when you sort of look at the list of known issues, it's not actually that bad. Like, there have been much bigger, much worse known issues before, and Cloud Imperium do appear to have cleared a lot of big problem and big ticket sort of bugs off the list now. And if they can get a few more of those sorted and sort of ironed out, then 3.19.1 will be a genuinely great patch. I'm really liking 3.19, and obviously changes that they're going to make to the ship claim timers again, sort of reducing them back towards what they were previously, and just general bug fixes and stability fixes and performance stuff. Great. I think it's going to be a good patch. Star Citizen 3.19 has had some great fun with cargo spawning in sort of the derelicts and salvage ships. So you can buy these sort of salvage contracts, or you can find derelicts around the verse, and quite often, or at least sometimes, there are cargo in those ships. And that sort of gives you the opportunity to search that ship more. You can rip off the weapons and components with your tractor beams and all that sort of jazz, and also get these very, very, very valuable cargo containers, or sometimes not very valuable cargo containers, off these ships and go, oh, cool loot. Now, that was really quite fun in 3.19. However, it does appear to have been hugely rebalanced, and there's been a big drop in the rate that the more valuable cargo and even cargo spawns. So there was a thread on Reddit. CIG, please reconsider this rebalancing of cargo loot rates on illegal salvage missions. Let me summarize the OP's points here. They have been really enjoying the sort of illegal salvage claim missions, looting some illicit and sometimes even legitimate cargo aboard sort of derelicts, and finding cargo crates with valuable loots. No salvage ship required, so you can literally go there just with a cargo ship and make a load of money sometimes, especially if there's a big fleet of ships. However, cargo spawns appear to have been lowered significantly, and the valuable cargoes have really, 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 really low spawn rates now, which just takes away a lot of the fun. Previously, it might have been a bit too much money that were being made, so they do sort of agree that maybe a bit of a rebalance is fine, but they've gone far too far in the other direction, potentially having players make very little or even lose money over sessions now. So the OP, original poster, goes on to say, having these missions open to more players would create tension around these missions, as more players will be competing for them. We are, after all, illegally claim hopping to steal. Again, I'm not asking for absurd profits like we had before, but maybe something that sits in a reasonable middle ground rather than being absurdly profitable or completely nerfing the loot from this mission type into the ground. CIG's Kuaku responds, so currently in Alpha 3.19.1's PTU, I've completely rebalanced and fixed some issues that were happening with our cargo manifest system. The initial version was our test version, and I didn't get the rebalance done in time, so apologies for that. I've removed a bunch of items that could not be sold and tweaked the spawning ranges of other stuff depending on the mission and matrix of items and settings I have to play with. When it comes to salvage in the rework, you should never see an empty cargo hold unless the ship doesn't have a cargo hold. However, that is just for salvage. I've also done the painful but much needed task of adding the cargo manifest system to all bounty and assassination missions, so now there is a reason to stick around and kill a target and their buddies. These ones have chances to have an empty cargo hold though. Scrap is not in the list of items that I can generate. I don't want to go into the details of everything that spawns, but the lowest value item that can spawn sells for about 300 UEC per 1 SCU, and the most expensive is upwards of 100k per 1 SCU. However, remember these are bonuses to the environment. The mission you pay for, the buy-in is calculated purely on how much hull you can scrape off, and you are set to make over 50% profit if you do scrape the hull fully. So if you are taking these missions to strip weapons and loot and cargo, there is a risk that you might not come away with a lot of profit, as the generation is random, and on the flip side, you could come away with absolute stonks. I love the fact that there's potential there for obviously making a huge amount of money, or a lot of money from cargo and stuff, but obviously if you're stripping the hull and also taking all the cargo and all that sort of jazz, maybe in a group, or a couple of you, then awesome. Cloud Imperium continue. It's something that we will monitor and continue to balance and expand with more and more. This system is one I'm pushing as I enjoy the emergent rewards that come from this. Thank you for your feedback. There was a follow-up question as well. Awesome work. Will the 1SU crates also have their names when being tracted now, like with the 1/8 ones? Kraku replies, so the 1/8 boxes having their names is something I have built. Getting the names on the 1SU boxes is another story. Short one is not yet, due to the potential performance issues it could create. I don't have all the technical details on it, but simply put, when I suggested it to a programmer, he had me and the props guy, Lewis, at gunpoint saying not yet. It is something they want to do, just they're not able to do it yet. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen updates today. I am really excited to see them keep on tweaking and potentially adding more stuff into the loot pool. We do know that they keep on adding more and more interesting items into the sort of loot pool of stuff that you can find in boxes and on bodies, and now in cargo holds as well. I would like to see more cargo, interesting cargo, and valuable cargo in cargo holds rather than less. Even if it's sort of, I want it to be as fun as possible. And because anyone can sort of do that gameplay of blowing up a ship and taking the sort of cargo, I'm quite happy with there being quite valuable cargoes quite a lot of the time personally. I do, or at least the potential for that to happen. And the idea of clearing out all the enemies at an assassination or a sort of bounty hunting area and then looting those ships afterwards is awesome too. I'm really interested to know what your points of view are on that as well. Are you sort of super excited to see this keep on evolving and changing? Where do you want it to go? Do you want lots of super valuable loot potentially appearing on cargo ships and or in cargo holds? And how often do you want stuff a bit more balanced? And well, yeah, even though everyone can do it, it doesn't mean everyone's out there to do it, and you shouldn't have these sort of super unbalanced ways of making huge amounts of money. Have you been playing in 3.19.1 on the PTU? What are you thinking of that patch? What about Jumptown 2.1? Are you playing in that? Are you having fun? Or are you just waiting for Cloud Imperium to stop running an event on the live servers so that maybe you'll have a bit more stability and less desync? Did you purchase anything during Fleet Week? And if so, what? Or did you miss out on getting yourself an Idris or a Kraken, even though you desperately wanted one, and now you have to wait for like the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo in November? But whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but give him a NordVPN subscription using nordvpn.com/BoredGamer or the links below, and he'll browse the internet more safely and with greater accessibility for a lifetime, or at least until his subscription ends. He can then shop for his own fish from places like Tesco's, Walmart, or Asda or something. It also makes a fantastic gift. Next time you go to a dinner party or a wedding, bring them a NordVPN subscription. Bam! You'll be the talk of the town, and it's certainly better than bringing a fish. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to go further to support the channel, then use that join button under my videos or the Patreon links below. That would be amazing. It goes a long way to helping Zin and I be able to create daily videos, and you'll get some exclusive perks, including some videos, posts, and polls to help guide the channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for an Origin 400i, the luxury exploration touring ship capable of taking 3 crew to distant stars. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to see you in the verse.